Yeah, want to give Notre Dame a ton of credit. They played great. Hidalgo was a real problem. Obviously, she disrupted us in all ways. Not only, um, I think most of those 27 points off turnovers was because of her. And then, I thought offensively, she was able to really pick on all types of all screen coverages. You know, we we didn't obviously we didn't play very well. We didn't have really anybody who played great. And then on top of it, she was a real problem. So, um, glad it's happening now. We just got to keep figuring it out as we get closer and closer to the experience that we need.
Coach, you mentioned how disruptive Hannah can be. How do you prepare for her, like when you know that's the way she plays?
Yeah, I mean, you show on film. It's hard to replicate. We have a really good practice guy who kind of does her a little bit too. But it's pretty. She's one of the best defenders in the country. You can see it, right? She plays in an unbelievable motor, and she's small, so she's allowed to have a lot of contact on the ball handler. And she got very quick hands, and she just doesn't quit on plays. Like she just I felt like when Georgia Tech played Notre Dame, there was a lot of deflections in that game. They used their length against her. We didn't really do that well. And then she conversely, if she's guarding the ball, you've got one issue, and if she's off the ball, you got a different issue. But either way, you have an issue because of how disruptive she is.
And for you as a player, like when Hannah is like firing on all cylinders and being disruptive, what does that feel like as an opponent?
I mean, it sucks, obviously, because he's on the other side. But I mean, we just really have to stay calm, be connected as a team. And I feel like this game we didn't do that. We kind of let her have her high, and we never let her go back down. And so we just have to find a calm on the court, and I don't think we did that well tonight.
Coach, I wondered if you could share your impressions of Cass Prosper. She's kind of been a double-double machine lately and didn't have a lot of these elements to her game last year.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit like Citron. I thought Citron was really undervalued. And then look what she's done in the W. I think Casper's got such great length. And so she's a bit of a nightmare problem, a matchup problem, because if you go big, then that affects you in one way. And if you go small, it affects you in a different way. And so, yeah, with her length and her bounce, especially with how much she's playing at a closeout because of how much Hannah's doing. She's not having to do a ton of 1v1. She's getting to play out of a rotation. She was also a tough matchup for us.
And did you guys have a great bench? Did you think maybe you could wear them down today?
We obviously played a lot of guys. We do. The problem is that it's just nobody really met the moment. Quite frankly, this is a fun. Two really good programs that have been good long before Neil and I were here, and just great opportunity for two great programs, and we just didn't bring our part of it, quite honestly. And it wasn't the starters or the bench; it's sort of equally. No one really brought it, and so they did. They played with an incredible amount of urgency and toughness, and showed itself in a lot of ways with their 22 turnovers that we had, and 17 boards, and so. Does that answer your question?
It does, and the Zoom people are probably chomping at the bit.
Yeah, we'll take questions on Zoom.
Yeah, Courtney, I'm guessing it was a long meeting after the game. What was your message to the team?
Well, we were waiting for Renee to finish showering. That's why we're so long, to be honest, because Notre Dame went first. So, these are smart. These kids have played the game their whole life. They lived it. This isn't my team or Ten's team. We're on the same team. So, I think there's nothing earth shattering. It wasn't a rocky speech. It wasn't, there's a physicality and toughness and urgency that Notre Dame brought that we didn't think we brought at the level we needed to. We shot pretty abysmally as well. We gave up a lot of boards. And so, we didn't bring our rock to the rock fight, quite honestly.
Was Sierra 100% today?
She didn't play like it.
I mean, she didn't log as many minutes as she usually does, and so it wasn't a health issue.
No. No one feels like $1 million in college basketball at this point in the season, right? But I can't imagine that Hidalgo is going to go for a run tonight either, right? It's just you have 40 minutes to bring it, and your opportunity and obligation is to do so.
Any other questions on Zoom or in the room?
I can go if that's okay.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. 5 points in the third quarter. I think it's fewest scored in any quarter of the season. Also
Sure.
had 9 in the first quarter. Just again, obviously without the chance to go back and watch tape yet, just what do you think led to that? And what's the level of concern just on the offensive end?
Yeah, I mean, we've been averaging 80 points a game, 17, however many games into the season, right? As you get deeper into the season, your actions are more scouted, and so you're going to have guys that can be tight, and also, create advantages with their dribble or with their screen or with their pace or with their goes or whatever. And we just didn't do that. I think we didn't bring enough of a fighter spirit to that end. In the first half, in the first quarter, I thought we just missed a lot of easy shots, and they stuck with it. I felt like they were locked in and engaged and all that. And I think at halftime, when things got hard, we turned the ball over too much. We also allowed too much easy offense for them, which makes everything feel heavier. Just not a great quarter across the board, even though it looks as though offensively. I mean, we gave up 22 points too. That's 88 if you give up 22 every quarter. So neither end was anything I'll look forward to watching back, but we will, and we'll make sure that they continue to see it and feel it, and all these things are really, they're part of the maturation of a season, and we got to handle it the right way.
Courtney, how much accountability does the coaching staff and you have for the collapse last week and then the performance today?
It's a good question. I mean, I think we do a good job as a staff and as a program of pointing inward. And so you'll have some coaches that will stand up here and say, yeah, my guys don't do this or they don't do that. Like, it's a we thing, right? And so when we don't perform well, I'm as guilty or I'm as disappointed as everybody else, right? At the same time, the beauty of this game is it's played by players, honestly, and that's the beauty of it, right? And so whether it's finding a way, we gave up 12 Obors, 9 in the fourth quarter against Stanford. There's not a whole lot I can do to help them rebound. That's just not a whole lot I can do. Just like free throws, like I can't really do that. But that's also minimizing the importance that we all have to continue to get better. And so I take as much ownership and accountability as Ten does, which is why she's sitting here with me. And we both have to be better, and we have to find a way to make sure everybody else along with us is too.
Perfect. Any more questions in the room or on Zoom?
Yeah, I guess I'll go quickly. Seems like you guys were going with a pretty I guess quote unquote small kind of guard heavy lineup there at the beginning. Just why that lineup, and why did you like that for today or against Notre Dame?
Yeah, it's good to have guard play against Notre Dame, because then in theory, it would be great if the person who's guarding, Hidalgo's guarding, the other guy is initiating action. But honestly, people just kind of ran away from Renaya and sort of said, you got it, right? And so that's part of it. I think also we've got, in theory, we have good playmaking guards that can kind of create advantages for others. Not today, but they have been throughout the year. We of course have analytics on lineups, and we play the lineups against certain matchups that analytically prepare you the best to win, right? But then again, the game is played by players, so it's not a stat sheet. It's a game. It's a living, breathing organism, right? And so it's easy to say after a loss that maybe we had the wrong guys in, or maybe we had the wrong this or that, when you can't. You have to look at it in totality, possession by possession, and we weren't good enough possession by possession, which led to the totality of the performance.
Awesome. Great. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.